Welcome to the demonstration of the remote alarm control. The remote alarm control is designed to put panic buttons on all staff computers that need it. But unlike hardwired panic switches, which are all or nothing, the remote alarm control has 3 levels that can be used for different severity of situation. By having different levels, it gives staff the option to generate low priority alarms early, with the aim of notifying staff so they can help de-escalate an issue early, rather than waiting for a full-blown emergency before triggering a panic event. The version we're demonstrating today is our standalone version, but we also have different software versions that work with Gallagher Command Center or Linnell OnGuard. The standalone version has 3 separate components: the server, which I'll run up, which is designed to be run on a department server that runs 24/7. The alarm monitor, which can be installed on any computer on your network, but it's really intended to be installed on staff members that are responsible and trained with dealing with emergencies or complex situations. Lastly, the remote alarm control. It's intended to be installed on virtually all staff computers that need panic button type functionality. For today's demo, however, I've got all of the applications running on one PC, but typically that would not be the case. So let's walk through an example of how you would use the system in practice. Say you're a receptionist and you see a person in the waiting room who's acting in an agitated manner. So you decide to use the remote alarm control to trigger an alarm to notify other staff members that you might need some help. So start by clicking on the remote alarm control icon, and that'll bring up 3 buttons. In the case of where you've got something like an agitated member of the public, we generally recommend you use the assistance required. So if I press this button, you will see the icon next to the button is flashing, which means the alarm is active. You'll also see that the alarm has popped up in the alarm monitor. Generally this will be at another staff member's computer so they can see that there's an event taking place. That person can then use the responding button to say that they're going to deal with the issue. So the alarm on here changes state, and on the remote alarm control it goes from a flashing red to orange. That indicates that somebody's on the way. So if the person turns up and has sorted out the issue and the person's calmed down, then you can clear the alarm by clicking on the restore button, which clears the alarm out of the alarm monitor and also clears it off the remote alarm control form. Okay, let's go to the other end of the scale, which is the activate lockdown. Typically you would use this in the most severe cases, which is where you've got an armed intruder coming onto your premises. Because of the nature of those alarms, I've configured some additional actions which I'll step you through. So similar to the assistance required, you trigger the lockdown by clicking the button. But you'll notice that we've got a procedure document which has been presented to the user. The concept behind that is, in a stressful event such as a lockdown, you don't want people to try and remember what the correct procedures is supposed to be, or find a procedure document. By having the procedure document present in front of a user, they've got the information they need on hand. As with the other alarms, they get presented in the alarm monitor on all the users who have got that installed, so they can see that the event has taken place. They can see that it's a lockdown, where it is, and who's initiated it. And as with our demonstration with the assistance required, they can indicate that they're responding, and then the alarm goes to solid orange. You'll also see we've got this network relay module, and that's triggered a relay in the event of the lockdown. The idea behind that is you can connect that through to your physical security system, so that if you want to, you can have it trigger a unique siren or secure external doors or notify an alarm monitoring company that there's an event taking place. You'll also see that I've configured this to generate an email, and this can be sent through to a broad email list, and that'll tell them that there's an event, which is the lockdown, where it's been triggered, and again who's triggered it. As with the assistance required, once the event has subsided and the intruder has been dealt with, you can go through and restore the alarm. That'll deactivate the relay and will also clear the alarm out of the alarm monitor. Because the activate lockdown is a fairly severe type of alarm, you may want to restrict who's got access to this and the other buttons based on their level of training or ability to apply a judgment on whether those alarms are suitable. The remote alarm control, with the remote alarm control, you can configure which users have got access to which buttons. Now currently, as you can see, I've got access to all three. But to just indicate how you would do this, if I open up the configuration application, then I go through to my assistance, my activate lockdown, I deselect my user out of the list, then apply that. The next time they run their remote alarm control, they won't have access to that button. So it's easy to control who's got access to which alarms in the system. Now another feature of the application is, in some organisations, the terminology behind the alarms may not suit how they want to use the system. For example, they may want to have a medical emergency as one of their options. So normally what happens when you install the application, you can choose the text that goes onto those buttons to infer what they're going to be used for. I'm going to shortcut the process today because I've got a couple of scripts that I've prepared, so I don't have to go through and uninstall and reinstall the software. So I'll just run those scripts and then restart the application so you can see how that works. So I'll just run that script. Okay, so I'll rerun the application, and you'll see the text has been changed over to medical emergency. So you can see how the system can be tailored to meet different requirements in different organisations. Hopefully you found this useful. If you've got any questions, please add them to the section below or contact me on the address listed. Thank you.